So, good evening, everybody. Bruce Foster, Jetski Republic. Tuesday night, tonight, Wednesday, I can't. I've got a prior engagement which I completely forgot all about. I had our guest lined up for tomorrow night as well, and then I realised, hang on a minute, I'm meant to be out with friends celebrating Burns Supper, which is a Scottish tradition. Billy, good evening, sir. I don't know if Daz is on. Is he? Has he commented or liked anything? Not yet. Um, First up, shout out, Billy, Daz. Thanks for going out on Friday. Thunder. There couldn't be thunder without lightning. So Daz is on as well. Nice one. Yeah, so shout out to Daz and shout out to Billy Briggs at the weekend on Friday there for it was just a short ride, but it was good fun. It was nice to just get out and dare I say it, get the wind in my hair. But yeah, and some of the footage is actually me riding Billy's ski, which is, believe it or not, a Sea-Doo. And I've got to say, he's got a weapon now. That really does move. Daz gave me a crack on his spark tricks as well. I was a little bit mixed emotions with that one. It was a nice ride, but you felt a bit vulnerable on it. Billy's was a different ball game altogether. So yeah, it was a nice ride. Billy, thanks for that, mate. Daz, thanks for the crack on them. Billy, Daz, what I need to do though is I need to get a shot. I need to get a ride out on your GTI because I'm considering a GTX. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, right. So that video you just saw there, that was Alan Skinner and some of the guys in his group. I seen Gabby and I seen Brezo there as well. Out on a night ride. We talked about it last week's show with Jeff Lakeford. I'm just going to jump onto the other screen here. And while we're talking about... 2 seconds, what have I done? Hang on a minute. Right, there we go. So while we're talking about night lights and night rides, there are some coming up this year. As Jeff alluded last week, they do have to be lined up. It's better if they're lined up with a full moon or a partially full moon, just for a visibility point of view. And I know some people just go out anyway, but I think the guys at the weekend there, when they went out, Alan and that's what they did. They just went out. But there's a setup that I got on mine a couple of years back. I'll see if I can get the windows on. Hang on, let me adjust the window there. Yep, I've done it. Okay. All right, let me adjust this window, and we'll go from there. And you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. So that there is underneath my seat. I'll open up a bit more. There we go. That's the connector for the tail light, for the anchor light at the back. You just pull that out, feed it through to the outside, and then go from there. There's the tail piece there. As you can see there, I don't know if you can see that mouse. Yeah, you can. That's the wire that just plugs in, and there's a little bracket which has been bolted on, and the anchor light, tail light just slots right in, and then you plug the wire in underneath it. It stays in pretty well, so I can't fault it. There's the front setup. Nicely, conveniently tucked away. Different models will give you a different setup, slightly different, but it's the same idea. So Jeff's got the same tail as well. I'm not entirely sure where his front lights are placed, but they'll probably be tucked away in a nice little place as well. So yeah, so that's mine. That was Jet LEDs. I can't fault them. They're in Springwood, sorry. I can't remember the street that they're in. Let me just resize this page again, and I'll get it back over. There we go. Yeah, so I can't. off the top of my head, it was a few years ago. It was it, Billy, did you not get to tangle him? I actually probably could have went because I've been off today, but I hadn't been well this morning. So, 2 seconds. Oh, still getting bothered with this cough that I've had. Yeah, so $695, if I remember off the top of my head, I paid with Jet LEDs. Now, Billy said last week he reckons it's around about the same setup. Okay, now if you want the little extra lights in the hull and all that kind of stuff that kind of give you the blue halo around your ski, you're going to pay extra for all that. But the setup I've got is the tail, the front, and a switch just in between in behind the handlebars just before I lift the trunk. So nice, it's all really professionally done. The LEDs on the front are epoxy resin sealed, so they're waterproof, completely waterproof. Your tail light obviously is waterproof anyway. I can't fault the work that's been done on it. It's served well for me. I've done 3 night rides, which in a couple of years is pretty bad, but yeah, Billy, you could do it yourself. If you're technically minded, you could have a go at it yourself. I'm not really technically minded when it comes to electric, especially marine or auto electric, so I wouldn't even touch it. That's why I got the guys at Jet LEDs to do it for me. So much easier and is guaranteed as well. So so there we go. That's the night rides. Keep an eye out. There's going to be some night rides out happening over the next few months, I would think. Jeff's keeping an eye on what the moonlight and stuff like that and the conditions are going to look like. So once we have an idea, or once he has an idea when we can get out, we'll get something up and we'll let some people know. Get yourself set up. If you're going for temporary lights that you just hook on for the night, make sure it doesn't say emergency lights only. Okay, so if it says emergency lights, stay clear of them. If you're in the Brisbane River, you're going to get pulled up, and you'll get pulled up big time by the Maritime Police. It's an international shipping area. That's why they're tighter there than they are down the Gold Coast. So you might get away with it in the Gold Coast, but up in the Brisbane River, most likely you'll get pulled over if you have them. So make sure you've got the proper sets. Guys, if you have any questions, message me or message the guys at Jet LEDs, message Jeff Lakeford as well. They'll keep you right. If I don't have the answer myself, I'll find you the answer for you, and we'll hopefully see you out on the water. Okay, so let's move to our little roundup. There's not a great deal going on. The New Zealand racing was on at the weekend. I'm going to discuss that with our guest when he comes on, Dave Vennell. So we'll talk about that, and we'll have a couple of pictures and stuff like that as well. There's no video footage, unfortunately, that I'm aware of that hasn't been passed on to me from Dave. We've just got some links to some photograph. Okay, Billy, that's interesting to know. I didn't realise that they've got the kits up at Jet LEDs that you can install it yourself if you just want to buy it. So, yeah, that's good. Yep, we're coming to that one, Billy. So, yep, this weekend, round 4, Chipping Norton, round 4 of the New South Wales Summer Series. Guys, we got to get your entries in. Closing dates for the closing date for the entries is midnight on Thursday. They have taken entries in the past after that, but I think they're really trying to be quite tough on this so that people get the message. Because at the end of the day, we're going to make life easier for the organisers. I know that when they've had events in the past and they don't even know how many they're going to have until literally the day before. And sometimes they've had to cancel them at short notice when people are already on their way down from Queensland, which isn't particularly good for anyone. So make sure you get your entries in, guys. Go to the New South Wales Personal Watercraft page. You'll find the links on there which will take you to the entries. So there you go. All good. All right, so that's that one. Let me go to the next one. Alright, let me go 2 seconds. If I can find it. Hang on a second, guys. Now, there we go. Alright, so Victoria, 18th. We're a bit away here. Okay, we're a little bit away here. But I'm giving everyone a heads up if you fancy doing something a bit different. Glen Maggie, 18th and 19th of February. Victoria Jetski PWC Association. They've got their weekend down at Glen Maggie. Now, it's a closed course. It's a cracking venue, great little location. You can camp there. They even had the clubhouse serving meals for the racers. So it's pretty well set up. As you can see there, everybody's being scrutineered the day before on the Saturday. If you're not satisfactory or you pass any practical test on the course with, if you're a beginner, you won't be allowed on the track and the course. Yeah, that's right, Billy. Yep. Okay, so New South Wales are charging an extra $50 for an entry after midnight tomorrow. Most of the associations are doing it. I didn't see that written anywhere, Billy, so thanks for that. I just assumed that they were just trying to be a bit tough on it, and I can understand why. So here we got... yeah, the Glen Maggie event was originally postponed, and then they've rescheduled it to a different weekend. Yeah, it was meant to be next weekend. Now they've postponed it. So the 18th and 19th. 19th is a race day. 18th is going to be a training practice day. But they're going to be scrutinising beginners. And if you're not up to scratch, you won't be allowed out on a track on Sunday, on a course on Sunday. So get your entries in as quick as you can. Early bird entries from now up until 2 weeks prior to the event, which won't be the 4th, it'll be the 15th. Yeah, the 15th of February, and then you'll jump up an extra $50 as well, 230. All right, so it's a big whack to pay extra for not getting your entry in early. So there you go, guys. Go to the Victoria, the VGSBA page, and go to their events. The event is listed. All the details are in there. If you need to contact anybody, get in touch with Alex Ewing. He'll sort you out and give you any information and answer all your questions. So hopefully see people out on the water this weekend and down in Victoria. So so here let's move on to, let's get our guest on. 2 seconds, that's the wrong page. So all right, so let's go guest. I'll see if we can get Dave on. Where are you, mate? All right, let's get you logged on. Now, obviously got Dave sorted out for coming on, but I forgot about the daylight saving time in New Zealand, which we don't have. So instead of it being 9 o'clock, which I thought it was, and Dave actually thought as well, it was suddenly realised about an hour ago. Oh, hang on a minute. It's actually 10 o'clock in New Zealand. So my apologies, Dave. But he's still happy to come on. So we'll have a little catch up here. Hopefully, yay! How you doing, brother?
I'm still awake.
You're still awake?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, mate. Yeah, it's all good. How you doing? How's the body? How's the body?
The body's good, thank you. Feeling a little bit after the weekend, but I'm all right.
Well, we're just flicking through some pictures there. I don't know if you can see some of them. They'll be in reverse, by the way, to you. Mate, talk us about the boy. How'd you hit that buoy? Dave, you're frozen, mate. Must be New Zealand Communications telcos. Let me log them off, and then I'll come back. I'll try and get them back on. See if that helps. New Zealand Telecom's not quite up to scratch. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Fingers crossed this is a bit better. Fingers crossed this is better.
Right, this time.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear. I can hear you.
Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Is there a delay? Is that what the problem is? Where's your source? What's your source coming from? Is your source coming from your audio? Is it coming from your call, or is it coming from Facebook?
From Facebook. I'm getting 3 versions of you.
Yeah, switch off the audio on your Facebook feed, mate, and then you'll get mine. Then you'll get the one from the messenger call. So switch off your audio on your Facebook, or mute it.
Hang on. Hopefully my daughter will come to the rescue in a minute.
Is that Jamie?
Are you Jamie?
Yeah, she said she's going to come. Said she'd come through and help you out. Okay, so.
Yeah, just bear with me, Bruce.
No. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I'm only thinking about you and your bedtime, mate. So, can Jamie hear me as well? Jamie, just
You had it muted.
mute.
Can you hear me now?
You need to mute the Facebook feed so that you've only got the messenger audio. Does that make sense? You had it the last time I spoke to you.
Right, is this better?
Is there a delay on me speaking? That's the question.
No.
There's no delay because with Facebook and YouTube, there's usually about a 15 or 20-second delay from me going live to actually being broadcast.
No, I'm hearing what I'm seeing your lips
Right,
moving.
that's fine. That's all we need. So as long as you've muted the feed from Facebook itself, you're only listening to the messenger audio.
Okay. Right, I've just been told I'm fine.
Fine. Thanks, Jamie.
You're welcome.
Did you hear that? Don't touch anything.
Well, she's actually left. The last message she's actually left was, "Oh Jesus, I'll go inside and I'll help him."
Ah,
So there you
I
go.
didn't see that.
So that's a good one. Yeah. So how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Body's kind of healed up, or is it getting still a bit aches and pains?
Oh, no. I'm walking bow-legged today. It's sort of the second day blues after 2 hard days of riding.
Mate, that's so we're looking at some pictures here, and obviously a lot of them, majority of them are you. I don't know why, but what happened with the buoy? How'd you hit it?
I had it perfectly lined up, and then just got a little bit of a cross chop just as I got to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And
That's
the
what
old
everyone
ski
says, mate.
hopped and- yeah. Well, no, you have a look at that. As I started to get airborne, I was on a right-hand corner, but I had hard left-hand lock trying to get around the buoy because it jagged me just before it, and it was all over. It was
Oh,
it was
it's a
just keep the
cracker.
throttle on and keep going.
It's a cracker.
Um,
And then obviously you were riding one-handed as well. Let me see if I can pause that one. I'll try and
that was
pause
in
it.
another race.
When was that? So that wasn't the weekend.
Yeah, but it wasn't
It was,
the same
but that
race
was
as when I
right.
missed the buoy.
That was the Sun. This was Saturdays. Is that
Yeah.
Saturdays? So the one where you're hanging on for dear life must have been Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're different skis,
just-
aren't they? No,
I
they're
just
not.
cocked
Sorry.
Yeah.
There it is.
I overestimated my ability to
There it
get
is.
around the corner as quick as I thought.
Yeah, I'll bet. Hang on, let me get that picture again. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it keeps disappearing every time I pause it. Ah, bugger. I'll slide down a bit so people can see it. There you go. One-handed.
Yeah.
What happened?
I just went round the corner quicker than I had the ability to hang on, and it tried to throw me off. I managed to stick with it after going from side to side on the ski, and I actually hit the water at one stage, but I still had the throttle, so I managed to power out of it and stay on.
That's pretty impressive. You kind of steer into it, so you kind of threw yourself back on.
Something like that, yeah. But I don't know how I did it. I can't explain it, but
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those, you're trying to dispel the laws of physics then if you're trying to explain why you managed to get back on. So it must have been momentum of some form, and as you accelerated, you threw yourself on, like a cowboy climbing onto a horse.
it sort of goes with the gunslinger racing thing, doesn't it?
I never even meant that.
Yeah.
So Jamie's saying that was the first lap of your second race. Mate, she's throwing you under the bus here.
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah, but
she's
of the second race on the second day.
second race of the day, first lap.
Yeah, but the second day, not the first day.
That's what she. Well, oh, she does say Sunday. She did say Sunday.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. So, if it had been further into the race, would you? The question would be, would you have been able to hold on then? Because you'd be fatigued a little bit by then. So.
Who knows? Probably not.
You said. So, how is everybody else? You look like you had a pretty decent turnout.
Yeah, there was 25 riders across pole skis and runabouts. It was a good turnout. There was quite a few people, especially in my GP3 class, that didn't turn up because they were carrying injuries.
Oh, that's a shame.
From non-jet ski related things that they didn't heal in time. Hope to be there for the next two rounds. I never got to race the
No,
Spark
that
this
is
morning.
let me get that right. That's when is it that you're racing in? Is that March, isn't it?
Yeah, March at Kinloch.
I'm pretty sure it was March. I read down.
I got the dates here somewhere. March the 18th and 19th.
18th and 19th in March. Yeah, and that's
It's the week
where's that?
before your nationals.
Oh, that's right. So it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you coming over for the nationals?
Well,
Or you're not
I'm
sure
trying.
yet? Right.
I'm
okay.
trying.
Okay. Where's the New Zealand nationals? Is that in the same area?
No, the New Zealand nationals are in 4 weeks in Wellington.
Ooh, wow. Okay. And what's the go for that? Are they guys still got to qualify for? Have they got to take part in your events in order to qualify for that?
No,
Or is it just an open entry?
No, they're NZJSBA. I'm not quite sure of the qualifying parameters for that because they don't have a lot of clubs affiliated and there hasn't been a lot of events. But But there's a lot of us from Jetski Racing New Zealand have entered. We have dual citizenship, you might say. We're hoping that they're going to get good numbers and they're going to be supported by the Wellington riders from all over the country. Like we had a good contingent come up from the South Island this weekend, and they will be there at the Nationals next month as well with bells on.
Yeah.
It's a case of everybody pulling together and just supporting each other and trying to grow the thing back again.
It's very much the same with everyone at the moment. All the associations seem to be in flux at the moment. I think the only ones over here that have really kind of got their stuff together seems to be New South Wales. Victoria is managing to get bits and pieces done. I think they're trying to do a bit of a regroup and try and sort of rebuild and build it up a little bit instead of just diving in with a load of events. They're really trying to develop it more than race. But we don't have anything up in Queensland at the moment, which is really unfair at the moment. Well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Queensland's having to take a step back just now in order to kind of get their committee and that sorted out and work out logistics of events and things like that. We've got new committee in place. To be honest, there was a little bit of politics, but some people spitting the dummy a little bit as well. But hopefully things are on the straight and narrow now, so we'll see how it all plays out. But guys are having to go down to New South Wales in order to race. So there's a 16, 17 hour drive.
Yeah. It makes life. It makes it tough. Like even here for a lot of the guys from Christchurch, they travel 700, 800, 900 kilometres to get up here, and then got to turn around and go home again.
That's a big one. It's a big ask.
A lot of people, it's still 3-4 hour drive from wherever to get to Central North Island, where we're trying to hold a lot of the races. To be fair on everybody, it's just
exactly. All right,
so distance and the price of fuel.
Yeah, well, the price of fuel is ridiculous no matter where you are at the moment. It's just, it just blows my mind, Okay, have you got access to a screen at the Facebook screen, or have you shut that down? So can you see those results that I've got?
Yep.
You can? Do you want to go through them and I'll just scroll down for you? Let me just get it up. I can scroll down through it. So, all right. So these were the results there's results from 1, 2, and 3 here, but primarily the ones that you want to focus on are 2 and 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you want to just talk about it generally, it's entirely up to you. I'm happy to let you lead it.
No, I suppose just generally we've got a mixture there of people. And most people have done the whole 3 rounds. There's been some there. There's the odd gap. What the series, there's 7 rounds in the series, and because of the economic climate and everything, the committee agreed that only 5 would count to the season total. So people have the option of dropping
pick and choose. Yep.
Either their worst 2 rounds or 2 inconvenient rounds, and pick your best 5.
And if they race all 7, they can drop the 2 worst scoring ones if they want. Is that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That makes sense.
There's a lot of us will be there for all 7. Yeah, and just the rest just whenever they can. So there's the odd gap in there, and the thing is really not going to shake out until the end of rounds 4 and 5. You'll see an indication.
Start to see a bit of a gap.
Yeah, who's going to be where at the end of it.
Yeah. You've got some good. Some of your classes are pretty full.
Yep.
So, like your runabout GP1, you've got 2 in there. You run about your GP2 though, man. You got many's in that. That was 4.
Yeah, I think
5,
we were
6,
running.
7,
we had
8,
6
9,
or 7 of them
10.
turned up at the weekend to race in that class out of the 9 or 10 that are there.
You had 11. You've got 11 on the list, but obviously you had 6 at the weekend there.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's still in there racing. They've all got a chance at something. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
And the fact that they can drop 2, everyone can come back over the next 4 rounds and keep adding to the score.
Yep, definitely. Runabout GP3. There's a guy there called Dave Vennell. Seems to be doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah.
Not bad for an old boy, I hear. Oh, sorry, Dave. I forgot you were there, mate.
That's right. One of the MCs at the weekend, I was walking up towards the line and he goes, here comes this 18-year-old in an 85-year-old's body.
18-year-old mind. Yep.
Yeah.
The body probably feels like it's 85.
Yeah, the GP4 class has turned into a bit of a disappointment. We haven't raced the last 2 rounds because I was the only one that turned up with ski.
Yeah, I was waiting to say, just no one showing up for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's a shame. Okay, so ski GP. You've got 4 in there, which are doing all right.
Yep.
I noticed Ben Morris was did all right for himself. Is that what, a third and a second?
Sorry, is that what?
Is that a third and a second that he's got on Saturday and Sunday, or is that just?
Yeah,
is that just over? Yeah. Is that so? How do you score it down there? Are you scoring at what, 25? Is it 25 for a win?
Yeah, 25, 22, 20.
20, yeah. And then 18. Yeah.
It must go
16
18, 16.
and whatever. Yeah. It drops down. Yeah. So Ben got himself. Yeah, Ben's first race was obviously this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The reason I'm mentioning Ben is because he races with Bailey's Cunningham's team.
81 racing.
Yeah, 81 racing. He was guesting with them last year at state championships. Yeah. So he did pretty well. Did pretty good there. So ski GP3, you got a good lineup there.
Yeah, the Polski guys, they really make the effort to come along and support the thing. We try and, Jetski Racing New Zealand tries to set courses that are conducive to their riding, and if it's a long runabout course, shorten parts of it up so that that they're cutting corners off the big course to make it equitable for them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's their call how big the course is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. So Jake obviously got 2 firsts on a Saturday and a Sunday. Ben Morris was pretty close behind him, second and a third.
He had a few technical issues.
Oh, did he? Did he? Oh, dear. But it makes things a bit interesting because whoever's won it, there's Russell Thorogood, he's leading it at the moment based on your points. But now that Jake and Ben are on the board, it's going to make things a bit interesting, as well as Aidan and Declan. Pretty sure they'll all have something to say about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Over a whole season, someone can sit there theoretically and go to all 7 events and still drop their worst 2, not necessarily win everything, but still win the overall series just through being consistent.
Exactly. And that's really the key, isn't it? So ski GP4, we've only got Roger, and he obviously wouldn't have had that this weekend because probably nobody showed up for it or nobody entered.
No, he was there, but he was too busy sitting on the shore drinking beer.
Why was that? Was he hoping to get the points by default?
No,
just give me the points. I showed up.
No, he was too busy looking after everybody else at the weekend.
Well done, mate. Well done. And then obviously the women's runabout, GP3. Hail the women. Great to see the women out and about. Now, did you have any women in your other classes?
No. We this is the first time, apart from a social event a couple of years ago, that Jetski Racing New Zealand's had women's racing. It's something they've been trying to do for a while, but it's a case of having some willing combatants. And this weekend, the ladies decided that they were going to have a go, and good on them. It was interesting. Some of them hadn't been on a race course before, so there was the usual novice directional blues to start with, but they got all that sorted out. They had some really.
Dave, if it's any consolation, I've seen people who have been racing for nearly 2 years, still getting the courses wrong. especially some of the girls.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
I'm
but
not
even,
saying that's a sex thing, but they're the most noticeable ones that I've seen that have done it. But I think it's just a lack of experience, really, to be honest.
yeah, I never forget one of the first race meeting I had. I ended up on the split course. I ended up going head on towards the club president at the time because I got myself out of one course into the other course, and
Oh my God.
yeah, that wasn't that flash, but
We've
yeah,
all
it
got to
happened.
learn somehow.
Yep. And the only way to learn is to actually go out there and go around the boys. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Now, this is a bone of contention for me, and it's a question I can put out to everyone out that's tuning in. I've always been used to calling them boys. You guys
yeah,
call them buoys. The Americans call them buoys. I don't know. Like I've got like Daz is from England. Daz Keel, he's from England. I don't even know what he calls them. I think he calls them buoys when it suits him, but I'm sure I've heard them call them boys as well. So what's everybody's consensus on that one? What do you what? What's your preference? Is that
the,
just what you pronounce it? Buoys
the
as well?
boys. Yeah,
Boys.
the boys.
So you do call it a boy, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
right.
I do.
It must be an Aussie thing then. It must be an Aussie and an American thing then. Well, the thing is, at the end of the day, whatever America does, Australia usually copies.
Yeah.
Probably
I
being a
know.
bit, I'm probably being a bit contentious there when I say that, but
Yeah,
I've always
yeah,
called
so,
it a boy. And yeah, I know a lot of people will say, "Ah, but boys is boys," but
yeah.
yeah, it's just that's what I've grown up with when I was younger. That's what we always called them. You know, go to the boy and then come back again, kind of thing. You know, so yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
it's like,
so
let's just yeah, go to the red one or go to the green one.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, as far as is that going to be the round? As far as your weekend format was concerned, past weekend now, is your next round going to likely look the same?
I would say that was pretty successful this weekend, so that'll follow through for the next because
Awesome, awesome.
our next two events are both weekend events. You know, 2 rounds each weekend,
Yeah.
um, and it's a good formula. So as long as we get the people turn up and we get the support of the riders,
I've been looking at the flights, but but when you're looking at $350 a ton, I'm just kind of like, yeah, don't know if I can justify that. I would love to come over and just to watch, and spend a weekend with you guys, but yeah, the cost might be a little bit prohibitive, but we'll see how we go.
you know, that's one of the issues that I'm having at the moment with trying to figure out whether to go to Australia for the nationals. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
not
I
a cheap
guess, I
exercise.
guess, I don't know if you guys can get direct flights into Newcastle, can you?
Oh, I've got no idea.
Because Newcastle would be closer for you because it's up at Lake Macquarie.
Yeah, yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Might be quicker just to get on the jet ski and ride over there.
Hey, do what Lindsay Warner's doing. Navigating around New Zealand.
Yeah, how's he going? It's been very quiet at this end. There's nothing on Facebook about
He
it.
has been posting little updates when he can. I tried to invite him on last week, and I'm still waiting on a response even now.
Yeah.
But I know that he's in the thick of doing his circumnavigation, so I'm leaving him to it. If he picks up the message and he responds to it, then fine, I'll catch up. But everything seems to be going fine just now. He's been catching up with a girl that he'd been corresponding with in regards to coastal tides and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, so he seems to be doing all right. He's certainly well prepared for it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything to the contrary. So yeah, I keep trying to check in and see how he's going, and it's only based on what he's put up the last thing he put up, and it just pops up occasionally. So usually every couple of days he does it.
Well, if you manage to find a link for a website, just chuck it up.
I
It'd be
will.
good.
I will.
Yeah.
I will, because I think a lot of people would be quite keen to see what he's doing, what he's getting up to. I haven't even looked on YouTube to see if there's any videos, because when he did Australia, he was posting up occasional videos, but he hasn't even been able to do that. So I don't know if he's maybe documenting it all, and then he's maybe going to put out something at the end.
Might not be a lot of cell phone coverage down the west coast of the South Island.
Nah. I don't know where he's at the moment. I meant to check. I wonder where he's. I wonder if it'll come up. Give me a second. I'll have a quick look. So does your daughter race? No.
No. Maybe one day.
Tell her she's a lightweight.
Oh! She's probably sitting here.
Hey, listen, I maybe better not come over because she'll maybe remember what I've just said. Right, hold on. Right, come on, Lindsay, where are you? Lindsay. Thing is, I try and tag him in some stuff as well, and he doesn't come up. Oh, wait, it's not under Lindsay, it's under Jetski Australia. There we go. Alright, so where is he at the moment? Ooh, should have been news story put up, that's for sure. Now, 2 days ago, he was at Doubtful Sound. Doubtful Sound, does that ring a bell?
No.
Or Colac Bay?
That means nothing to me. I'm from the North Island.
Oh, is this a southern thing? Is this one of these northern? Is this a north and south thing? Is it?
Yeah, it's a bit like Australia, New Zealand.
Like Scotland and England, then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's on the South Island at the moment. So let me see if he's got anything else. Yeah, he is. He's at the southern end at the moment. So can't even remember where he started. Did he start on? He started on the north side, didn't he?
No, he started in Wellington.
So he did.
And yeah, it's doing South Island first, coming back to Wellington, and then
up and around the north.
And up and around the North Island, sort of basically doing a figure eight.
Right, got you. I've got you. Tell you what, he's got an understanding wife.
Why?
The length of time that he's away for. Mind you, she's maybe happy to just get rid of him.
Well, yeah, isn't she part of the support crew though?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh no,
I
I thought I read something.
I don't think she was. I don't think she was the last time he did it.
Okay.
I might be wrong. Hey, I might be wrong. I'll check that out with him if I finally manage to get him on. I finally got him.
Yeah.
So, okay. So your next round is the 18th and 19th of March.
Yeah.
And that's a 2-day weekend. Is it camping there as well? Or is it hotel stuff?
Yeah, some people will be camping, but no, we'll be glamping or Airbnb-ing, whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, I've got you. So nobody's willing to rough it just for the sake of a good old social get-together.
Oh, no, we were camping at the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
What's the weather going to be
Thursday.
like in March? That's my next question. Is it likely to start to get chilly about then?
Nah. March will be fine.
Listen,
In April,
I'm talking to a Kiwi here. Come on, that's probably the wrong question to ask you. Probably feels
it's nothing like what you've just been through.
3 degrees. 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 degrees. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but my future son-in-law, in my hometown, we've got a tradition where they go for a New Year's duke, all right, a New Year's swim in the harbour. Now, it was just touching minus. It was at the 0 point. It was like 1 degree or whatever it was. It was absolutely freezing outside. And he decided he's going to go and do the duke in the harbour water, which was blowing a gale. And he stood there with a pair of shorts on, and he had the cheek to put a purple baseball cap on. And nothing else on. And I thought to myself, you're a nutter. I've swam before. I've swam in that water, but I've only ever swam in it in the summertime, and it was bloody cold even then. So I don't know, that must have been freezing. He did say to me and my daughter that when he was trying to climb up the ladders, he couldn't feel the ladder as he was climbing up. But you know what? I take my hat off to him because he did it, you know. And there was a lot of them that went in, and as soon as they went in, they bailed because it was just too cold for them. But he, like him and probably about a dozen others, bang, right in they went. So I really take my hat off to him for that one. So I think he was trying to enamor himself to the family.
In March, the weather's going to be fine. We'll still be probably hitting 20 degrees.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yep.
As said, the last round in April, the last two rounds in April are the ones that are going to be the traditionally.
What's the winds
weather's
like up that way?
We've had a couple of not so good ones, but I mean,
what are the winds like up that way at those time of year? For both the
on Lake
events, what's the
Taupo,
wind like?
it can be diabolical.
Both the same location. Well, they're not the same location. It's slightly different, isn't it? But it's the same lake.
Yeah, well, we're at different ends of the lake. So hopefully the April
one end better than the other?
Well,
no, not really.
The March one's quite sheltered. Should be. The one in April is at the south end of the lake. So generally the weather is probably coming from the south at that time of year, so it could be quite sheltered. We'll see.
Oh, okay. So fingers crossed you get lucky with both rounds.
Who cares? I love the rough.
Not everybody does, though, Dave. Not all about you.
Yeah, but the good thing about rough weather, it takes away the 450 horsepower speed element out of a lot of things.
That is true, which a lot of people tend to turn on. So yeah. You're right. You are right. Yeah.
It brings everybody a lot closer back together, and
yes,
especially in enduro.
I think as well. I think you'll have the benefits as well in those type of conditions if you've got a decent hull as well.
Yep.
And a decent setup. Well, I wasn't really thinking about that because I've heard that the Kawasaki's are pretty good in the chop.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but nobody's proved it yet.
Well, they have in certain races. They've won big enduro races. That's enduro.
What, with the new hull?
Listen, there's a reason why Lindsay is using a Kawasaki. I rest my case. He doesn't trust a Sea-Doo.
Hey?
He doesn't trust a Sea-Doo or a Yamaha.
Really?
Well, Lindsay obviously doesn't. He's using a Kawi to go around New Zealand.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a that's like the Holden Ford debate, isn't it? Like
it is.
Ferrari.
Listen, I must admit to you, Dave, I am actually seriously considering the options of possibly going Sea-Doo. Okay. Wow. And the only reason for that really is supply. I think, like, I've got to speak to the guys up at Kawasaki and see what they're saying. But the last time I spoke to them, they weren't even taking deposits on jet skis because they couldn't guarantee delivery on them. Whereas if you go to Shoreline Sea-Doo or JSW or any of the other ones that are Sea-Doo dealers, they seem to have heaps of them, heaps of different skis that are coming in the door, and yet Kawasaki can't supply anything, or they're very limited with what they can supply. So I'm needing to have a chat with Kawasaki, with Jamie or Marty up at Kawasaki, and see what they're saying. And then obviously it might come down to money. And I'm also contemplating going no supercharger, because I'm not a racer, I'm not a speedster, I'm a I prefer to just cruise and enjoy my environment. I don't really know if I need the supercharged. I know people say, oh, you need that extra bit, you need that bit of speed. Not if you're cruising, you don't.
Well, at the end of the day, GP3 that I race in, that's 170 horsepower Sea-Doo. It's not supercharged.
Well, it's a 170 GTX I'm considering. I've got to get a crack on Daz Keel's GTI because his is a 170. So I'm going to have a crack on, hopefully get a crack on that one, and see how it rides, and then we'll go from there. So I've got to wait a few months though, because I'm waiting delivery on a new car. Well, my wife's waiting on a delivery of a new car, so I've got to get that out of the way first, and then I'll look to get
priorities, Bruce. Priorities.
Well, I've got to keep the wife happy, mate.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh,
Listen, Dave, thanks for coming on, mate. Do you want to shout out anybody, give thanks to anybody from the weekend? Fire away, mate.
well, the first one is a big thanks to the guys at Jetski Racing New Zealand for putting on a good event. It was awesome. It ran smooth, and all the people that actually came and attended the event.
Yep.
There could have been a few more, but hey, there was plenty there, and the camaraderie was good, and everybody had a good time.
And that's what it's all about, mate. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. On a personal level, my long-suffering family, wife, daughter Jamie, my crew. I've got an awesome crew that travel around with me and take my ski to the start line for me, keep the thing running.
Dave,
Dave,
your wife and your daughter don't suffer. They're quite happy to let you get out of the house so they can get the place to themselves.
Quite happy. Actually, Jamie comes to a lot of events with us.
Is she?
Yeah.
Jamie, he's trying to trap you. He's trying to trap you into racing.
That'll come. Yeah, hey, and I got some awesome sponsors, Broski Jetski products, and a couple of development companies that have chucked a little bit of money at me every now and then, and just I don't know whether it's to make me go away and have a weekend off or not, but it all helps. I said the biggest shout out's got to go to the riders that actually turn up to these events. Yeah. It's not cheap,
without a doubt.
At the end of the day, jet ski racing is still probably the cheapest form of motorsport that people can get into on an ongoing basis. Once you've bought your ski, you couldn't go motor racing for the lesser amount of money that we spend in a weekend on fuel and entry fees.
No, exactly. I wouldn't think. Like I've got a friend who races cars. It's like the little Corollas. He just banged his up there at the weekend, and he's caused quite a bit of damage on his. So he's got a hefty bill to pay on his getting his car all fixed up for his next race. So you're right. I think the margins for error in motorsports compared to water sports, the impact damage can be considerably worse in motorsport, I would say. But the difference is you are cocooned in that chassis and frame. You don't have that luxury in jet ski racing. But I think hopefully common sense and a bit of foresight and a little bit of keeping your head on a swivel helps avoid a lot of that and reduce a lot of it. Like the one piece of advice I had for a lot of riders, especially for new beginners, was if you're in doubt, pull out from it. Don't go for it. You know what I mean? Because there'll be a time and a place somewhere. It might not be that race. It could be the next race or the race after, where you've learnt from it and you'll position yourself a bit better, or you'll be able to take it on a bit better. So
we've got another training day in the 19th of February where we'll get new riders back in again and new ones that haven't been there before and just go through a course with them. And some of the ones from the last one that individual members have adopted them and we help them through, we hold for their races and just...
Dave, I think these training days and practice days are, a must. Just for getting people confident, familiar, give them a taste for it. Because at the end of the day, they might come to the practice sessions or the beginner sessions and decide, it's not for me. But by the same token, it'll help them understand the tracks, help them, get the basics. And then, who knows what happens from there,
Yeah, because training's probably the most important thing of the lot, because at the end of the day, people are riding a 300 horsepower missile. And you can do a lot of damage with it.
Exactly. Listen, I was going to talk about I was going to have a look at the IGSBA rule changes, but I'm not even going to bother with it. Bobby Cardone, 239 Raceboat show this morning, he went over it. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, and I'm not going to try and talk about it. I know a lot of our guys, Billy and a few other boys and Bailey and that were on the show talking about it and making comments about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a chance to look at any of the rule changes in there.
I saw the notification the other day, and I haven't even had a chance to read it.
They're looking for riders who are investing in the sport to email the IGSBA with suggestions, just to be heard. So, yeah, I understand. Yeah, Trelly's just said that. That's Bailey's mum. She just came on there. Said that they're just suggestions from people. There's no changes yet. Totally aware of that. I know there's no changes. I probably worded that wrong when I said it. They're proposals. So, but it gives you a chance to feedback. So they're trying to encourage everybody that's in racing to email them and make your suggestions and stuff like that. So some interesting conversation that was going on this morning about it. So maybe worth having a look at it.
Yeah, I will do.
And get it around your fellow riders as well. So, okay. Listen, mate, I'm going to let you go because it is 11 o'clock there.
Yep.
I really appreciate
you.
You should be in your house coat, your slippers, and your hot cocoa. No.
I got my pajama pants on.
Man, I don't want to see that. Like I'm talking house coat. I don't want to see pajamas. I don't.
You started the conversation.
All right, Dave. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll catch up in the near future again. We'll certainly be inviting you back on here again, and we'll get some more of your fellow riders on as well.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm trying to get to the Australian Nationals. We'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed for you, mate. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Good talking to you, Bruce.
Dave, take care, mate. All the best.
Okay. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
So there we go. Dave Vennell, one of the racers, was on the committee last year for the association there. I believe he just helps out, but there's other people involved in that now. But he's still racing. He's not a young pup. He's a young pup at heart, but obviously he's still competing with the best of them. So good on you, Dave, and well done. Okay, so we're coming up for a few things. Like what we got? 2 seconds. Now, the only thing I really want to wrap up is this week is going to be a bit mad. Here in Australia, no matter where you go on Thursday, the chances are the waterways are going to be chock-a-block. It is Australia Day, and traditionally with that comes everybody wants to get out on the water. All kinds of potential hazards and carnage ensues. Guys, keep your wits about you. Keep your head on a swivel. Be safe. Let's not do anything silly, and particularly with the community at large, let's look after the community and set the example of what a good organised community, a respectful community should look like, and hopefully we'll all have some good fun. Whoever's out on rides at the weekend and over the coming days, enjoy them. Happy to share the videos. If you have a video, share it. Please just make sure that if you are sharing a video or forwarding or tagging me in a video, that it's royalty-free music, because obviously I can't play it on the podcast otherwise, because I basically get shut down or I'll get a warning or a copyright infringement. So it needs to be royalty-free music so I can put a claim in against it, and the claim is then lifted. So that's us for this week. Next week we will be back to 7 o'clock on Wednesday. That is guaranteed. So it'll be interesting because I'm away on training next week, so I'll get a chance to do it from my hotel room. So that'll be good fun. I did it before Christmas and I had a ball. That was actually quite interesting as well. So that was our prize giveaway. So guys, if you're wanting to watch any of the previous podcasts, go to the YouTube channel. You can scroll through them. all 41, well, including tonight's, will be on YouTube, so you can look back and watch at your heart's content. Subscribe, tag your friend, and share them. The more subscribers I can get to the channel, the better. For everyone, I can then keep providing more stuff and expand it. So, guys, one of the other things as well is this year is I'll be investing the time and money in proper outdoor streaming gear. So the setup that I had at the state championships in June of last year, I do plan to have that set up for the SCX up in Alex Head in June, early June. So I'm looking and interested in covering other events. Please, if you're interested in having a live stream of your event, whether it be jet ski, whatever, motorsports, basketball, whatever, if you're interested in having it, get in touch with me and I'll see what we can work out. Apart from that, I think that's pretty much us for this week. I think I've touched on everything. Guys, have a great weekend. Oh, one of the final things, a quick shout out to Alan Skinner and Gabby and Brezo, who had a fundamentals teaching day on yesterday. They had a handful of people show up. I think they had about 5 or 6 people show up to learn all the basics and fundamentals at Jacob's Well. Everything was covered there about reversing off of trailers, anchor systems, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we get more of these in the future and we can start, making sure everybody's riding from the same sheet, so to speak. But yeah, great initiative. Love it. The more of these, the better. I think it's only a good thing for the community. So, and again, it's all about making sure we promote ourselves as a good, responsible community. All right, guys, I'm going to close off with a video. It's an older one. It's from the Jetski crew in Stavanger, or the JSCS group. It's an old one from, I think it's 2018. I'm not sure who's seen it. Check them out on YouTube. You can go to HD Screener X, who's shown it, who's actually produced it. So I'm going to leave you with this particular video. And guys, wherever you happen to go this weekend or over the next 5, 6